I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Every day, Ron DeSantis' campaign gets even worse, and I don't even know how that is possible. Like, just now, a staffer of Ron DeSantis was caught on one of those Ring cameras saying that he is telling voters to, quote, eat his balls if they are upset about being asked if they're a DeSantis supporter. Here, play this clip of this footage that we just got.
They're like, fuck you, get off my fucking lawn. Then I'd be like, yo, eat my balls, honestly. Eat my big, hairy sack.
You calling a boy a sack?
That's true. And I'm a little stoned, so I don't even care.
Okay, and that's just incredibly outlandish, disgusting, and weird. On a more serious note, this is Ron DeSantis speaking with Tucker Carlson just the other day, saying that he would sign a 6-week national abortion ban as president. Play the clip.
You signed a ban on abortion after 6 weeks in Florida. Would you do the same as president nationally?
Well, I'm very proud to say Kim Reynolds is here, and she signed a great heartbeat bill today. We were able to do that in Florida. We had a lot of opposition to that. I'm proud to have been a pro-life governor, and I will be a pro-life president. So, I mean, of course I want to sign pro-life legislation.
With Ron DeSantis' poll numbers just completely plummeting, I mean, we're talking about Chris Christie's almost beating Ron DeSantis in the state of New Hampshire. DeSantis was asked by a reporter what he's going to do to turn it around, and DeSantis' response was, watch and learn? He's like an idiot. Play the clip.
Sorry guys, we gotta head to the next debate.
Cut into Donald Trump's speech.
Watch and learn, watch and learn. Thanks, guys. Yeah, right here?
Yes, sir.
And look, even Fox News is ripping Ron DeSantis. Here, a Fox News panelist says that like DeSantis is just really a very weird guy. Play the clip.
Jonathan, just last word on this. What are Democrats going to be watching for in that debate?
How awful Ron DeSantis does. I think Ron DeSantis' biggest
the one to
problem.
watch.
Yeah, his biggest problem is people are getting to know him, and it turns out his record in Florida is kind of hurtful to a lot of people and hateful, and it's not resonating. He also, from every report, seems to be a weird guy with voters, and when you're in Iowa and New Hampshire, you have to talk one-on-one to them, and I don't think he does that really well. I think the person I'd be watching for is Tim Scott in those debates. He's a great debater, really smart guy. I think he's likable. He's the core of where the Republican Party, I think, should be. Unfortunately, it's still Donald Trump's party until somebody takes him out.
They're a very weird and dangerous guy. Here's DeSantis from that interview with Tucker Carlson saying that if he was president in 2020, he would have fired Dr. Fauci. Play the clip.
Had I been president 2020, Anthony Fauci would have been fired, and you've got to be willing to do it.
This is Ron DeSantis wiping his snot on a man in Iowa. Play the clip.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, don't back down.
We won't.
As President Joe Biden is bringing down inflation in the rest of the country, the hotspot for high inflation right now is pretty much zoned in on Florida. Here was a local report by a Florida news station just the other day about how inflation in Florida is so much higher than the rest of the nation. Ron DeSantis' policies are destroying the state. Play the clip.
Inflation, new data from the Consumer Price Index only confirming what all of us are feeling daily. Our area now the top hotspot in the nation when it comes to inflation. In this case, South Florida, which includes Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, has an inflation rate more than double the national average. Housing costs are largely driving our surge. Transportation is too, and local services you count on each and every day. Inflation for the 12 months ending in April, those are the latest numbers we have, at 9% for our area compared to the Tampa area, just over 7%, and the national average of around 4%.
And let's not forget where it all began, right? In 2018, when DeSantis ran, the way he courted Donald Trump's endorsement was with ads like this, where he said to his kids that she should build a wall like Trump and would read him bedtime stories about Trump. Remember this DeSantis ad from 28? Play the clip.
Everyone knows my husband, Ron DeSantis, is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
He reads stories.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
He's teaching Madison to talk.
Make America great again.
People say Ron's all Trump, but he is so much more.
Big league. So good.
I just thought you should know.
Ron DeSantis for governor.
And finally, a real strong and competent governor, governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, blasting Ron DeSantis for signing a near total abortion ban in the dark of night. Here, play this clip. Governor Ron DeSantis signed a near total 6-week abortion ban into law. What was your reaction to that, Governor?
Well, I think it's interesting that he did it at like 11 o'clock at night in the shadow of darkness by himself, because I think he realized or should know he's doing something wrong. And what he's doing wrong is restricting the freedoms of Floridians, taking away their fundamental right to make decisions over their own bodies. Here in Pennsylvania, we value real freedom, the kind of real freedom that allows women to make decisions over their own bodies, the kind of freedom that allows people to marry who they love, the kind of freedom that actually empowers parents to make decisions over their kids' education. And yet, what we're seeing in Florida, what we're seeing from some of these other extremist governors is they love to talk a good game about freedom and patriotism, but what they actually work on every day is restricting that freedom, is actually not dealing with the fundamental underlying challenges that people have, whether it's hunger or homelessness, a lack of quality education, growing the economy. These are things that I work on every single day here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, things that actually matter to people, things that expand their freedom, not restricting it the way the governor of Florida has. And I think, what he has done to women there is absolutely abhorrent. I want women here in Pennsylvania to know that we respect you and we respect your freedom and your ability to make decisions over your own body.
And what do you think it says about the way Governor DeSantis put forward this policy, kind of doing it in the dead of night in a private ceremony? Why do you think he's trying to hide these actions as well, if he's so proud of signing these bills into law?
Because he knows it's wrong. And he knows it's really against where the vast majority of people are, where women clearly are across this country and presumably in Florida. And I think he's ashamed of what he did. That's why he did it in the dark night. I think it also speaks to just how profoundly weak of a person that he really is. The guy loves to get out there and beat his chest and make a lot of noise, but he's just a profoundly weak person and weak character. And I think that is why he decided in really the dark of night, without any fanfare, to sign that overly restrictive bill, a bill that takes away the freedom from millions of women in Florida. We will never do that here in Pennsylvania. I will always stand up for women here in the Commonwealth and protect their fundamental freedoms.
I think Shapiro puts it perfectly there. Wow, that's all I can say. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast. Hit subscribe on our YouTube channel right now.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.